Hi guys, it's Janet Wakeland with RemarkablyCreated.com. In today's One Take Wonder video, we are going to look at the new What's Your Type stamp set that is featured in the new 2014 Stampin' Up! Catalog. This stamp set really should come with a warning that says caution using the contents becomes addictive. It doesn't really look like much. It looks like just kind of a bunch of geometrical shapes, and you're thinking, wow, that's really nothing fun. But trust me, once you start using it, you're going to find endless possibilities for it. Here are 3 cards that are featured on my blog as part of our Pinworthy blog tour. This was a sneak peek I did first. Just some backgrounds, and we paired it with the Bravo greeting set, and our beautiful new silver shimmer paper was a little consistency throughout it. So let's play with this stamp set and take a look at some of the fun with it. It is a photopolymer stamp set, which means that it is completely clear when you're working with it. And the black is not actually on the stamps. It's just showing you that some are solid and some have lines, which means that these could actually overlay that in what we call almost a 2-step kind of stamping. And so that marking is just on your piece of paper. Let me just pull this apart for just a second. This kind of gives you a grid to help you make sure that you've put all of the stamps back in the box to make sure you're not missing any of them. So if you look to see that you have all of them, so that's really what this just is a grid to help you with that. What you're going to be working with is you need to work with clear blocks, and Stampin' Up! Does have clear blocks available individually. They also have them available in a set, and we have this beautiful optional carrying case for you. And as you start to grow your stamping stash, you're going to want to invest in different size clear blocks, or you may want to treat yourself and buy the entire set at once. But our clear blocks are the Cadillac of the clear block world. They have these great little grooves in them, which make them very comfortable in your hands and no slip when they're in your hands, and just have a nice weight to them. So let's go ahead and let's play with these stamps. I have Daffodil Delight, our new in color Tangelo Twist, Smoky Slate, Bermuda Bay. And I have one stamp set all set and ready to go. This has 2 triangles on it that I put, one in the left hand corner and one in the right hand corner to form a square. We're going to ink it up really good, and then we're going to just put it on our paper, press and hold it so you've got your image there. Now sometimes when you stamp, you may find that you're getting little marks like that. What I'm learning personally is that when I see that happening, when I took a stamp, and let's just take this circle for example. Sometimes, depending on what I've been doing with my hands, I have oil on them. And of course, we press our stamps on like that. And that leaves a residue on your stamp that doesn't always allow it to pick up ink correctly. And I don't know if you can see that in the camera at all, but when I look down through that, I can even see light spaces around the ink where it potentially may not be picking up ink. Now that turned out good. But sometimes the oil, and so sometimes if you're seeing that happen, you may want to stop and clean your stamp before you ink it up, okay, a second time or whatever. You may also want to test your stamps, and I think it's always a good thing to test them at least once on a scrap piece of paper just to see if indeed that is what's happening. And so you might want to stop and clean your stamps. So as you saw here, we've just simply taken the 2 triangles and we've been able to form a square with them. Now, let's just take this triangle, and we can still keep it in the corner, but now we're going to go ahead and we'll just do this, and we'll take, let's do this little stripey one, going gray. And there's your Christmas tree, little kind of contemporary funky little tree, and you'll be set and ready for Christmas. So you can line your triangles up just like that. Another option, let's take these 2 little letters here, and we'll take our circle off. But you can already see just how nice and tacky they are. And so, oops. Let's just stamp that down. I don't know, can you see the 2 gray? There we go, perfect. And now let's take our little stripe again, a different color. And you can see where they started to create the letters that you're seeing in the catalog by playing with the different pieces. And no, there's no chart yet for the letters. I'm hoping to have time at the beach next week to create a chart just like that, but just some fun things. Another option that you have is just to take, let's pull this up for just a second, and let's use a larger block. Like that. Let's take our big circle again. And then somewhere here I have, there's a little guy. And, okay. Don't you just love it when something right in front of you disappears? Well, there is another little circle, and you guys might even be seeing it on the screen that I can't see at the moment. And let's move these off to the side. I was going to add another dot to this, but it is MIA somewhere here, and it is stained pink, so you would think that I would be able to see it. Let me just make sure it didn't adhere to the bottom of something because it was loose. Nope. Okay, well, the moment that I turn the video off, it will show up. I know it will. But you'll notice that I put a couple of different shapes right on here so that I can just go ahead and I can create a background stamping all at once when you start to use your stamps on larger pieces of paper. And then I can just go ahead and just start to repeat my pattern, just kind of creating my own custom background stamp by working with all of your different pieces, and you'll be able to start to add them on. Now you notice that the edges of the block is catching a little bit of ink. You're just going to go ahead and rinse that under water. Over time you may have oils and other stains, and what we're finding is like the Purell hand gel cleans them right up, gets all the little marks and stuff like that. But because our stamps are raised, that ink on the block is not showing up on the paper. So that's just because when you're pressing down into the ink pad. If you want to avoid that, you may want to take your stamp directly to your pad, just like that when you're working with it. One of the other things to be aware of, and it was kind of one of the reasons why I was really hoping to find that small dot, is that some of the reds will stain your rubber, and that's okay. I know for some people they're like, oh my gosh, they don't look, pretty and pristine and clear. But one of the things that I like to tell my customers is that when your rubber is stained, it means that I did my job and I taught you how to use your stamps and you're using them. It also shows that, hey, okay, I bought this stamp and I've used it. But it doesn't affect the image. In all seriousness, it doesn't affect its ability to stamp and its ability to create some really, really fun things. So now let's look at, again, overlaying these in a two-step fashion. One more idea here for you. And let's take and you can see that they just come right off. They're pretty much virtually indestructible. I say virtually because I know if my puppies got hold of them, they'd be destructible. But for us, just peeling them on and off, it doesn't stretch them. It doesn't hurt them. You can also see how well they stick. So let's start first with our and we'll, hold on a second. Let's give ourselves something that we want to use and work with. Okay, and so we'll take that off the block, and we'll clean them all later with the stamping scrub and cleaner, which is a great accessory to add. And let's go with the blue. And now I can look down and I can stamp right over top. So I've got that yellow underneath and the blue. and now I've created a little banner across my card, and I'll be able to add the words happy birthday. So again, lots of possibilities with the Just My Type stamp set. I hope that you give it a second glance in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. And don't forget that you'll need assorted sizes of clear blocks to work with it. And if you stop by remarkablycreated.com, you'll see the cards that I showed you up close. And you'll be able to follow the links for our Pinworthy blog tour where this was featured. And I've got fellow Remarkable stampers sharing all kinds of fun geometrical projects on our tour this time. So take care. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless.